very warm welcome, viewers and pool fans, to Pro Billiard TV and the 2026 Pro Billiard Series, bringing you the action live from deep in the Austrian Alps at the picturesque Hotel Alpina Alpendorf. And you join us for the start of day 6, and we kick off with the Billiards Carrinho Women's Open. And wow, with a group full of world-class players in the last 16, we kick off with a choice pick. The Princess of Pool, Seo Seoa, is taking on Kristina Tkach, the Crystal. And this for a place in the quarterfinals. It's 10 ball, races to 4, best of 3 sets, winner breaks, and there's no early 10s, both players under the shot clock with 1 extension per rack. My name's Gethin Davis. I'll be flying solo for this exciting encounter, and I'll be bringing you all the action and trying to keep you abreast of the scores on the other tables as they're being updated. All our 16 matches kicking off right now. And it looks like Seoa has won the lag and will get us off in this opening set. Breaking from the side. Keep your eye on that yellow 1 ball and the left side pocket. In fact, it wasn't heading in that direction. May not have been the contact the Seoa was looking for. It's resulted in a dry break, but no look at the one for Kristina. Kristina was a world 10 ball champion and has picked up multiple European championships as well. I would have to say, if you were to open the paper, she'd probably be down as favourite for this match, but going on form to get to this point, well, Seo Seoa is absolutely flying. And she's no slouch either, with the 2025 World 9-Ball Championship under her belt. I'll bring you some updates with regards to how these ladies have got to this point momentarily. First, let's have a look at what Kristina has looked out there. She's played the push, maybe setting a trap for Seoa, but Seoa does have the opportunity to say, rather to take the shot on or give it back. She's giving it back to Kristina, so we'll get to see what she had up her sleeve, so to speak. Looks like short rail first, freezing the cue ball or playing off the edge. She's gone for the edge. That threatens the scratch. Oh, and early on, an unforced error from Kristina there. Her trap getting the better of herself, sadly. Now, so Seoa is looking long rail to long rail to get position for this 2 ball into the bottom left pocket. And getting position for this rack will open up quite nicely for her. Looking to take advantage of the ball in hand. She knew she was running into the 3 there. She's judged it very well. Just have a look at the angle. She'll need to come over for the 4. She has that for the side pocket. She could also do the same going to the top left. She has options here. So having the quickest route to this last 16 match, needing to play 2 matches, beating the German Romina Lenk in straight sets, and then success against a very tough Wan Ling Wan, also in straight sets. So absolutely flying to get to this last 16 matchup. I've yet to see her in singles action so far in this tournament, and she really looks like she's in focus and sharp. Now the 8 is just to the left of the top right pocket, so we'll just need to ensure she keeps the cue ball her side of the table. And this is looking very promising for the South Korean. Kristina was having to make a decision in her opening shot. She'd picked out where she wanted to play the push and was looking to play, well, a difficult but could have been very rewarding shot off the short rail. She just caught it, I would dare say, a little thicker than she wanted to, and that gave Seo a ball in hand. She's not needed asking twice here. And this will be a good opener for her to get her account underway and put the first point on in our first set. And she does get the first point with her break, but not from the break. And it is winner breaks format, so that will bring her back to the table. Looking to get a bit more out of her break, as you hear a couple of beeps from the shot clock. That's not from this table. That's from over on table 1. We're bringing you 3 live streams from this last 16. Over on table 1, it's Jasmine Ushan taking on Yuki Hiraguchi. And that should be a very exciting match, brought to you with my dear colleagues Tim De Lauter and Mark White. Over on table 3, Pia Filler is taking on Nakyung Song. Back to our opening set here. Seo Seoa took the opening rack, returns for her break. And success. It appeared that she'd taken a little bit more energy out of the cue ball there for that break, something that my colleague Tim De Lauter alluded to on a couple of occasions over the past 5 days. This women's event did start on day 2, and she was mentioning that the players that were just taking a little bit out of the ball were tending to make balls off the break. So maybe not all about the power in this 10-ball break format. And finding the window between the 8-5. The 3 does look a bit tricky where it is next to the 4, but it is available to both top left and bottom left pockets. She's played that very well. Just needs to be cautious in playing this 3 where she leaves herself for the 4. 5 does look quite out in the open, but the 6 and the 7 are hampering it somewhat for maneuvering the cue ball into position. Oh, and she decided to draw back for that 4 to get the position she needed. And to generate the draw, she put a bit of venom on that, and the top left corner hasn't accepted it. Kristina out of a chair. Not the easiest of openers for her to contend with, but there is certainly merit in going for it. The cue ball will come back left side of the table. Wants to be careful she doesn't make another scratch. Big shot. She really does rise to the occasion. That was no easy shot to take on when you've been sat in your chair for a little bit, and may not need to do too much with the cue ball if she wants to find that gap between the 6-7. She'll need to be very particular. It's a small window. I think she found the window, but she didn't find the pot, and that will bring Seoa back to the table. Maybe looking again to find that very window. Yeah, and then again, also finding this window for the 5, and that really does give the run out the best chance. Ooh. Took a little nudge off the 8, which has thrown the cue ball into the 6. It looks like it's been quite friendly for Seo Seoa here. Yeah, it didn't pose too much of a problem, and now a good chance to get to 2. And these are quick races to 4. With the winner breaks format, it can start to run away. However, you really need to get your break working to threaten the run, because especially for Seo Seoa, Kristina has a great safety game, and if she feels that the game just isn't coming to her at this early stage, she will be looking to put Seoa in trouble and just develop a bit of a better opportunity than necessarily she's been given so far. And this, the dream start for the South Korean. 2-0, and in the winner breaks format will come back to the table. I was alluding to all matches underway now in the last 16. I mentioned those 2 matches on our TV tables. Other matches underway. Chihiro Kawahara is taking on Zhao Fangfu, and Che Yu Chao is taking on Xia Liu. Tu Chin Wei is taking on Jin Yu Hong, and Han Yu taking on Shu Ching Chang. I mean, it's a who's who that's travelled in from Asia. I'll bring the remaining matches in due course, but great representation here in Austria from the teams that have really travelled the furthest. Well, on this occasion, again, Seoa not getting that the 1 ball cutting towards the side pocket, but on this occasion has made a ball. Unfortunately, in making a ball, doesn't have a shot on the 1. Looks like she's brought her jump stick, so going to jump over the 5 and attack the 1 ball. where it is, it doesn't really lend itself good to the push shot, so opportunity for Seoa to stay at the table, and she's played that delightfully. Kept the cue ball in the open as well. She'll be very happy with that. Now, may have already had something in her mind with regards to her safety options on this too. As you can see from this camera angle, there is an offensive shot on, but I'm not sure there's value in that. And that is what Seo Seoa had in the back of her mind. I was alluding to Kristina's ability in the safety department. Seo Seoa showing she's brought her A game as well. Now, both players as able to get out of them as well, but nothing guaranteed on the result. Kristina looking to make good contact on the two here. One rail escape. Played that really well. Little tap on the table, but she played that really well. Well-deserved result. Cue ball took a bit of a bonus bump off the 10, which promoted it over towards the 5. It looks again like Seo Seoa with the jump stick. Success with her first attempt. I'm not sure she'll be going for the pot here though. She's got both balls travelling down the table, but towards traffic. It's not brought cover in, but it has covered the potting angle for the 2. That 4-9 again still looks begging for the cue ball. If cover is wanted, what has Kristina spotted? Oh, she's feathered that blue 2. Probably looked to just catch a little bit more of an edge, but that's worked out very nicely with the rub off the 6. Looks like there's still an edge for Seoa to play, but she certainly doesn't see full ball. She saw enough to take on the pot. She felt value in a two-way shot there, because where that cue ball has landed, that wasn't for position on the 3, that was just to protect herself in case that 2 ball dressed up in the corner pocket. Now, what angle does she have to attack this 3? Wow. Very authoritative pot. Looks like she's found the window. Purposely done. And now, good opportunity to get cover on the 4. Which she has done. Kristina will be happy to get back to the table. Still yet to really have any opportunity to get her teeth into. The only real opportunity she was given was a very, very tough one. Ooh. Seoa didn't get full cover, and that did leave enough of an edge for Kristina. She'll be disappointed there. wasn't far away. That 4 has tracked down into a position for Seoa to attack. A little bit hampered with queuing due to that 9 ball, so we'll just need to elevate over. Good view of Seo Seoa's follow through there. Stayed down on the shot. Maybe just come up a little short for comfort on this 6. So a little more to do with the cue ball. Run it round 2 rails. No, elected for 1. Stunning off the short rail. It's played that really well. And is really looking fantastic in open play. And not leaving to leave her opponent much if she does not see the run out. It's exactly what you need to do. Now, will that cue ball run on though? You don't really see any emotion on Seo Seoa's face, but when she does pause like that and give that cue ball the stare, you know something is awry. Well, she's played what she believes to be a containing safety. Kristina, happy to get back to the table, may fancy taking this 9 ball on. She did come back to the table in our second rack after time in the chair and took on and made a very difficult pot. This one as difficult. Such solid cueing. Really fantastic shot on the 9. Was always leaving a little bit to chance for shape on the 10, but this will be better than she'd hoped for. Kristina Tkach with 2 crux shots there to get her account underway and put a point on the board. And well, we've seen quite a bit of Kristina in action in both Mixed Doubles Open, our Predator event running concurrently with this, and also on the TV tables in this women's event. She started off on the TV table, her account, in a very tough match against the Swedish player Linnea Halmarstrom, winning 2-1. That was a fantastic encounter, really, to get day 2 underway. And then she had a tough defeat to Han Yu, 2-1. And that put her into the loser side in that double elimination stage. And then she played out of her skin and took a 2-0 win over Ina Kaplan, again on our live stream. So we've got to see a lot of Kristina. And in summary, she is playing, as we know, very, very solid, but seems to be enjoying herself as well here in Australia, in Austria, and it just allows them to, I think the Mixed Doubles Open as well helps with this, but it just allows them to let their hair down a little bit. And I've seen players just relaxing into matches and into the event a bit quicker than sometimes they do when they're traveling far from home. So I need to be careful here, but she's looking to play 1 rail onto the 1 and try and leave the cue ball behind the 8. She hasn't caught that full enough. It's a slight misjudgment, but hasn't sold out. Kristina to the table Nothing to attack. But what can she see in the safety department? She can see full ball cover with the 6. Don't think it's locked enough to the 6 as Seoa's indicating to take away. Yeah, no, it's not. So a 2 rail, maybe even 3 rail escape. She picks up the 3rd. She needs to hit it hard because a ball will not touch a rail. Needed to hit that off the 2nd rail, because if you do not contact a rail, that's ball in hand to your opponent. Now, we have the 3 foul rule in effect. It can be a sore way to concede a point. But with Seo Seoa on 1 foul, Kristina, if she draws 1 more, will be looking for that 3rd. And that's not bad at all. That 4 ball really hampering getting that cue ball onto it, and also getting that cue ball up close to the 6. This is a very precarious situation for Seo Seoa. Our referee just having a little look as well to check if that 1 is resting on the rail. This is the perfect camera angle to see if she's successful here. Oh, was not far from being successful. That cue ball off the 2nd rail, just picking up its spin generated from the collision on the rail. And that was not far away at all from the South Korean, but it will bring Kristina out of a chair. And these are the opportunities I was saying in getting to this stage of the tournament. She really does work hard to get. She will play 2, 3, 4 solid safeties to get this opportunity, and she's not going to look at the 3rd foul here. It is always in her back pocket as backup if anything goes wrong, but this will be Kristina looking to send a message out across to Seo Seoa, who has come out the blocks so strong. Tkach still in the mixed doubles as well, teaming up with Tkach. I'm not convinced that them two didn't conspire just to keep our tongues clacking in the commentary box. Catchy to catch. Gets quite confusing sometimes. And yeah, as I mentioned, even drawing 2 fouls, ball in hand is really what she wanted. And with an open table, we'll just send that message out that we're going to have a real tough match on our hands. And so far, neither of these ladies looking to give their opponent an inch. A little misbehaved cue ball. But this 10 to bring the scoreline in quick fashion back to 2-2. And well, we've all got to have a good look at both players here. Neither looking like they're going to give away too much unnecessarily. That scratch from Kristina, probably the only apple to upset the cart in that department so far. So with a miss after needing to hit that object ball very hard, but not many are springing to mind. However, if you want to keep updated with the scores, and I will look around and keep bringing some in for you, please do visit probilliardseries.com. And as I was mentioning about balls missed and balls from the break, you can also get links to not just the live scores and schedule of play, but also live statistics, where you can glean a lot more information for the matches. Now, Kristina has been opening recent matches with really good breaks, and then mid-match just losing it for a little bit. On this occasion, the one ball didn't track towards the side pocket, so it'll bring Seo Seoa back to the table. Just having a look around the table. No real cluster of concern. So when an offensive opportunity arrives, there may not need to be too much manoeuvring of balls on the table aside of the cue ball. Oh, Seo Seoa playing a two-way shot there, taking the bank on and looking for cover if it was left down there. Also giving her shape on the two, so good thinking from Seoa. And it's a little tricky an escape for Kristina. Maybe she's just going to masse through this gap and pick up a lot of spin off this long rail. This would be a very nice shot to make. Great improvisation. Ooh, that wasn't far away. Yeah, she'll be disappointed. That was a very difficult shot to take on, but it looked like she got close. However, 2-2, this is ball in hand with Seo Seoa. You have to say advantage now. I mentioned balls are looking very friendly out there. Kristina in the last rack, running through them very nicely. Seoa will be looking to return the favour here. Okay, a little bump into the 9. She came around to have a look at that. This is the key shot for me. Looks to pass the 7, but we'll need to punch, draw into the long rail and back out again. She has done, but she's come underneath the 4. I don't know if that suggested it didn't pass the 7. And I don't think it has an available pocket, so Seoa could be looking to lock Kristina up here. That's what she's looked to do. The one ball contacts the rail. I'm not sure the 4 did, so that will help. That's not a foul. Now, Kristina coming off the bottom short rail to make contact on the 4. I think she called it in the top right just as insurance. That's unlucky, but she has played it well to make contact on the 4. But again, Seoa just not leaving Kristina anything to attack, and it's a good game plan and good respect shown for what Kristina's capable of. Now, she's had a look at the 6 in the side pocket. She didn't look happy with something. Just composing herself. Pre-shot routine. Wants it to stop. Wants it to stop, and it hasn't. Now she's presented herself with a tricky shot. She just looked at the jump. She's immediately looked away from that. It does look like she only needs to go over the edge of the 7, but clearly not enough distance between cue ball and 7. Oh, checked up off the second rail. That's missed the 6. So self-induced troubles for Seo Seoa. Good opportunity to get on the hill first there. You have to say that's a good opportunity missed. Ball in hand for Kristina here. She'll now be hoping to get on the hill first. Just making sure she's nowhere near that 8 ball. She's bridging right over it. Done nicely. She's been picking up these closing patterns all week with great success. And in these short races to 4, getting your foot on the hill first is very advantageous. And after the start that Seoa got off to, this could be 3 on the bounce for Tkach. Played it well. Cue ball slowed up before it got to the rail. This is a good position now for Kristina. Really to have made what I would say is a good comeback in this opening set, the way Seo Seoa came out. She's been patient, maybe a bit fortunate to get this opportunity, but at this level, you're not going to get many, and you need to be able to take advantage, and she's done just that. Kristina Tkach gets on the hill in this opening set. She leads 3-2 over the South Korean Seo Seoa. Just having a quick look out across the arena, we already have a first set result in. It's the Chinese Taipei player Chahua Chen. She's taken the opening set against Zhang Muyan from China, and they're already underway in their second set. Chahua Chen pushing on with the opening rack over there. I was alluding to the statistics. that you can have access to on the Pro Billiards Series website. Ball's pocketed. Seo Seoa nearly double Kristina, and that's not telling a fair story if you were to look at the scoreline. And really, Seo Seoa just paying the price for a couple of mistakes, but Kristina will take every chance she can get. And has she, I was going to say, has she given herself a chance here? But ball didn't drop off the break. It's not a whole pocket for the one, as you can see from this camera angle, but it has enough of a pocket, I fear. Looking at where the 2-3 are situated underneath this 8 ball, I'm not too sure what value there is for position. Now, I think she called the 4 there, or not. Yeah, she did call the 4. Kristina didn't hear that. She played that purposefully. Now, cue ball running into the 3, fraught with danger. I don't feel Seoa's going to take this on, although these young ladies prove me wrong so often. As I was saying, she went for that. That is not going to be good enough. Wasn't necessarily a high percentage shot, but she felt the value was there. But now this has turned into a nice little look-see for Tkach. And a good opener. Long one up into the top left. Doesn't look like she's got too much of an angle. Oh, she may have. So can't stun for the 3. We'll need to move the cue ball off the long rail and back across. But this is a very nice opportunity Kristina finds herself presented with. And what a way to reply from Seo Seoa's dominating opening 2 racks. Both these young ladies have very active social media accounts. If you do get a chance, go seek them out. Some great videos, some great instructional stuff as well. And the amount of attention it's brought to the sport is fantastic. And these two really backing it up here in this opening set. Kristina did not want to run into the 7. Sort of just taking the wind out of her sails a little. Yeah, and that's forced her into playing a safe. Looks like she's played that very well. If Seoa can't see the 6 though, she should be able to come off the long rail up behind it. If she can see the 6 and enough of it, she may call the bank and try and play it with a bit of insurance, bringing the cue ball high on the table, but I didn't hear anything from Seoa. She took the latter option with success. And if that ripple of applause was for her, well deserved. That's kept her very much alive in this first set. It looked like Kristina was going to run away with it, but that 7-ball had something to say about it. Spoilt the party somewhat. Cue ball has run on a little bit. This isn't going to be on a plate for Seo Seoa here. She's going to have to work for this. With the shot clock breathing down Seo Seoa's ear, she made that pot delightfully to hold for the 9. Not easy shots playing into the side pockets, especially if you have to put pace on it. This time she didn't need to, but was precise. This 9 for position on the 10 to take us all the way in this opening set. Fantastic. Seo Seoa, after Kristina Tkach winning 3 on the bounce, has taken the 6th rack to bring this scoreline back to level and really keep this in a fine balance, something which I thought we were going to be treated with. And, well, our lady's delivering. Will be Seoa returning to the table with the break, and as you can see there, getting the better of the breaks with 67% success. Just have a quick look at the other scores over on our other TV table, table 1, with our dear colleagues Tim Dorau and Mark White. Well, Jasmine Ushan has taken the opening set against Yuki Hiraguchi. They'll likely be on their break now, preparing for the second. And our third match being streamed over on table 3 is the matchup between Pia Filler and Nakyung Song. Pia currently leading 3-1 in their opening set. Well, no success. Everything seems to have travelled over the right-hand side of the table, bar the 10. Which means great opportunities for safeties, but Kristina's got no look at the 1, maybe forced into playing the push shot here. She did play a push shot very early in this match, which backfired on her somewhat. Well, I cannot pick up anything from her body language. She is really keeping us in a conundrum here. I didn't hear a push. Is she looking to play to make contact with this one? No, it was a push. I did not pick up on that, and that cue ball is not good enough. It needs to be locked to that rail. This one certainly makeable. Ooh, certainly makeable to the bottom left if she wants to go on the offense. But there's some traffic next to the one that she could aim the cue ball for. does have options here. She may even be playing this one as a two-way. No. She's going to come off of it and maybe look to bring the 10 ball for cover, but she needs to put Kristina locked up here, because otherwise she will not need asking twice. That looks good enough from the overhead. Maybe an edge can be seen, but not the potting angle, I believe. Ooh. Maybe. Great shot. She could see the potting angle. And she's played that delightfully to keep position on the 2. That was a tricky shot to get position on that 2. So stay at the table. Called the ref over just to keep a little eye on this. Oh, found the window between the 8-9 to get the cue ball out. That looked like it wasn't possible. So attention to that 4 ball, which doesn't have much available. Attention on the 4 ball. Well, we saw Seo Seoa make a great bank in the last rack. The offensive shot is that. Kristina making a decision, offense or defense. It looks like she's chosen offense. Oh, and that was not far away at all, but look at the insurance she's given herself. That, ladies and gentlemen, was not luck. That's where she wanted that cue ball, just in case this did happen. We saw Seo Seoa try and do something similar to great success when she missed a shot to the bottom left corner, but got herself cover. Oh, Seo Seoa caught the 5. Certainly looked like that 4 was makeable. Nothing guaranteed to get shape with the cue ball, but she'll be disappointed to not jump over that 5. And you don't normally get to see too much from her. That time, visibly not happy with that, with herself, I would say. Well, after taking that offensive option with getting good cue ball, Kristina now finds herself best positioned to take this opening set, and what a roller coaster we've had. There still may be another loop-de-loop to go, but Seo Seoa in convincing style taking the opening 2. Kristina Tkach fighting back with a bit of grit and a lot of determination and some cool play to win 3 in a row. To get to the hill. So we're bringing it back. 3-3, and we've had a couple of twists so far in this deciding rack. Both having opportunities to win this first set. Now it's Seo Seoa's turn. Can she convert this opportunity? Stayed underneath the 9, didn't want to be going anywhere near them side pockets. 9 up to the top right. And this could be Seo Seoa taking this opening set in very dramatic style. It's in. And after disappointment on her face from that jump shot she was unsuccessful with, that should quickly turn to relief and maybe even a little bit of joy. She has taken that thrilling decider. 4-3. The opening set goes to the South Korean Seo Seoa. Kristina Tkach quickly out of her chair to go and take a break. We will take a short break with them. We will return for the start of set 2. We'll leave you some statistics up. And when I return, I'll bring some score updates as well for you. But while you're in the break, please do visit ProBilliardsSeries.com, where you can get the latest scores. And if you're enjoying this Pro Billiard TV live stream, please do like, share and subscribe. We really do appreciate your support. We'll be back with you very shortly for, well, you tell me, what are we going to be in for in set 2? See you soon. And a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Billiards Carrinho Women's Open and this exciting last 16 matchup between Seo Seoa and Kristina Tkach. The first set going all the way and really could have gone either way, both having the opportunity to win the set. Seo Seoa just picking it off at the end. So we return for the start of the second set. Kristina Tkach with the break, looking for the best start and to take this match all the way. So far, nothing from the break, and if our astute viewers were just looking at the statistics during the break, Seoa's on 50%, Kristina yet to get off the mark. Will that be the difference? Well, there's a lot more aspects to consider, but the break, a big part of it. Seoa with nothing to attack. So the containing safety, can she bring the 5 in as well? That will really add to the pressure, but no. I'm confident Tkach will not be too beaten up with the result from the first set. She really played so well to put herself in position to be able to take it. And she will have found herself in this position before and overcome. But it would be interesting to see if there's anything she would have come back with a change or maybe a different game plan. I noticed the difference in the mistakes was just 1 between the two. I think Kristina making 2, maybe 3, and Seo Seoa making 2. Needs to hit the rail and has done. So this tough queuing for Kristina. And these are the battles that I've really been keen to see, because both these players able to make and get out of difficult safes. And it would be very interesting to see who wins that battle on this occasion. It's Seoa, ball in hand. The 4 ball will be her first real threat. For our viewers just wondering what's coming up for the rest of the day, well, we have Billiard Beckman Men's Open action coming up next. We'll have more action from this Billiards Carrinho Women's Open, and then we finish off today with the exciting Predator Mixed Doubles Open. I'll bring you more information on that. And if you were considering tucking up in front of the screen, this is the place to be. So far, these ladies have not disappointed at all. So has had a good look at this 4 ball. There's no value in attack. Well, I say there's no value in attack. There is a 4-9-6 combination on. There was a 4-9-6 combination on, and Seoa has gone for it. I did see quite a nice opportunity to freeze the cue ball up by the 5, but Seoa had different ideas. It sadly didn't pay off for her. Kristina now with the 4-6 combination and a Very nice chance to get shape on the 5. Yeah, and a slip up from Seo Seoa there, an aggressive play, and quite a challenging 3-ball combination. Just goes to show how confident she is feeling. Kristina thumping that in to get the cue ball. Deep draw back for this 7. Looks to have the slightest of angles to be able to bring the cue ball down table. She does. And this would be a fantastic opening point on the board for Kristina. May have thought Seo Seoa was just starting to get into the groove. Maybe feeling a bit of flow after the first set result, but Kristina finds herself getting out of the chair, and just like she has done consistently in this match, takes that opportunity with both hands and will get the first point on the board in the second set, and that keeps this very, very nice brewing along. We'll have a quick look out at the other tables. Quite a few first set results coming in. Chihiro Kawahara has taken the opening set against Xiaofang Fu. Xia Liu has taken the opening set against Cha Yu Chao. And Chu Wei has taken the opening set against Xin Yu Hong. One of note, Han Yu and Xu Qing Chang, they're still in their first set. They're on a hill as well. Exciting matches out there here in Austria. Kristina Tkach to break, leading 1-0, but trailing 1-0. And one of the better results from her break. The 1 threatened to drop as well, but it was the 2 that dropped. However, not the nicest of looks at the 1, but she's at the table. Looking to avoid the 9 with the cue ball here, playing off the edge of the 1. Oh, she's played it very delicately. What a touch Kristina's played there. I thought she was looking to bring the cue ball all the way back around the table. She had other ideas. Certainly escapable for Seo Seoa, but where the balls are going to be travelling, not necessarily an opportunity to get safe. Could do with keeping the cue ball at this side of the table. Ooh. That 1 ball has slowed up. May have left an edge for Kristina. No, I don't think it has. So good result from Seo Seoa there. This time the save from Kristina not paying off. Legal hit. Cushion, or rather a rail made, but that 1 ball is now a very nice opener for Seo Seoa, but if it's straight, it might not be as nice an opportunity as we think. sat back here. It must have been straight. She's drawn back for the longer three. Nice window between the 5-6, as you just saw our cameraman pick up on. Yeah, played well, held the cue ball centre table for this 4. Turning into a nice opportunity for Seo Seoa. She did have a good opportunity in the opening rack in the second set. Just wasn't to be. Here's some firm applauses coming from our table next door. That's the match between Jasmine Ushan and Yuki Hiraguchi. Jasmine playing on home soil. There will be some home support in. We'll be getting a few claps on this table as well, I'm sure. Especially the way these two are playing. And so playing the long 5 up the rail. She's played that very nicely. And this rack now has opened up very fruitfully. And so we're looking to bring the scoreline back to level in quick shape shine. I mentioned the Billiard Beckman Men's Open continuing up after this. That will kick off at 1 p.m. It's currently 11:15 here in the venue in the Austrian Alps. One of the most picturesque locations you could have a pro billiard series. It is beautiful up here. And this is a bit thin, a cut on the 8. Should come round naturally for the 9. Played that very well. Thought she was going to be coming around the 9. She was able to check it up. This now, good opportunity for Seoa. She's stretching a little bit. Not a problem. But yes, looking good for 1-1. And as with the first set, although she did take a 2-0 lead in the first set, but it finished very, very tight and close. This second set, likewise, very close. And that will bring her back to the table with her break in this winner's breaks format. This, a must-win set for Kristina. A few more updates from our other matches. Chihua Chen took the opening set against Zhang Muyang from China, but Zhang has replied, currently leading 3-2 in their second set. And the only other match left to report on is our other TV table, Pia Filler, who took the opening set against Na Kyung Song. They're now 1 apiece in the second set. So Seoa to break. Been getting the better of the break so far. And the scoreline would suggest getting the better just a little. That 3 did not drop. And there is an edge of the 1, but nothing to attack. So possibly another little bit more of a back and forth in safety play. I'm not sure if Kristina can play rail first. Glance off the edge of the one to bring the cue ball back up the table. Looks like there may be a double kiss if she plays directly off the edge of it, so... And that too might actually be covering. Yeah, she's played the first option. Bringing the cue ball up. That has been played very well. Having to go the full distance of the table there, Kristina. That's a great result. Yeah, that's really all she could do there. We're going to see maybe a couple of other shots like that, unless Kristina can get that cue ball out of there. It looks like she's going to try to. Needs to be careful the cue ball doesn't come back to hit her. Yeah, gets her hand out of the way. Just in time. Now I just need a careful look at this. Because if it's rail first, a ball does need to touch a cushion. Oh, definitely a ball touched a rail. Now, no, Kristina cannot see the potting angle on the one. She's called the bank, but that can be a little bit deceiving. Mainly because that can be an insurance call when playing a safety shot. Because, for instance, if that one was to drop and it wasn't called, well, Seo Seoa could have given this visit back to Kristina. And look at the position. So oh, couldn't have got closer to that one ball without touching it. Very unfortunate. Has potted the red 3. Ball in hand for Kristina. What can she do here? This isn't the nicest of looking runouts, but for our viewers who've been following her on the live stream throughout this event and the mixed doubles event, she can pick these apart. So Seoa was doing it straight out of the gate in our opening set. And where she could get shape on the 5 to run the cue ball into the 7-8. But the 6 is available to the bottom left corner, I believe. If she could bring the cue ball cleanly across the table. May feel the value of going into them is the best solution here. No, I like that. Left herself the perfect angle to bring the cue ball out cleanly. Not many options available for the 7, but she's got a good position on this 6. She could play 2 or 3 different shots depending on which she prefers for position. Yeah, not electing to do too much wise. This will be the 7 for the left side pocket. Really strong stuff from Kristina here. Oh, she's picked this pattern apart really well. She's done all the hard work now. Is there a concern of that 10 ball coming into play, taking this 8 on. I think that's why she's taking a bit more time over the shot. Yeah, I think she's looking at what sort of angle she's going to make connection with the 10. Wants to ensure she's got the right energy on the cue ball to hold for the 9. And I thought she'd done all the hard work. She's had to work a little bit harder. Not a problem for Kristina. She is keen to not let her opponent get a bit lead in this in this crucial second set that she needs to win. And that 9 should secure this point on the board, regain the lead. And we'll bring Kristina back to the table with the break. So good stuff for Tkach. Balls pocketed is starting to come a little bit closer together. But I think the story of the first set was just a couple of mistakes from Seo Seoa that Kristina was able to capitalize on. And I was mentioning about the next round of matches coming up in the Billard Beckman Men's Open. We've already got the announcements for the schedule of play over on table 1. Another Austrian will be representing Max Lechner, taking on the young Felix Vogel, who took out an Austrian yesterday in a thrilling shootout, that Austrian Albin Uschan. I'll bring you some more updates after we see Kristina's break. And that is how she opened up her Women's Open account. She played her first 2 breaks, I remember, if I remember correctly. Textbook like that. So is Kristina's break coming to her at just the right moment? Shape on the 2 would suggest on this occasion it has. She had a little look at that 4 ball because it's not very friendly where it's located next to the 7. Not too sure what angle she's left herself on the 3 here. Of course, where the 4 is located, Kristina could play and has options to play a good safe. But you just know the way both these players have been playing and the styles they've been bringing to this match. They would really like to stay on the offense. I don't think it's going to be with this 4 ball though. Bank called. It's not a bad bank to take on if that cue ball is just rubbing into the 7, because it will be covered if it stays sucked into that bottom left corner pocket. Just like that. Wasn't able to take the bank angle on really. And that's what she's played for. And the reason I said if she could take the bank on, because where that cue ball is, the 5 was certainly available for her next. But Seo Seoa back to the table, looking for a chance to bring this scoreline back to level. Working out the angles. This isn't a bad opportunity if she makes contact on the 4. Very good chance it could start tracking towards that bottom left pocket, but if the cue ball comes underneath the 4 and makes contact off the second rail, well, then the cue ball could be tracking that direction. Like that. But not in the direction of the pocket, and the friendly bump on the 10. And a little quick flip in opportunity. So Seoa now getting Kristina in trouble. looking very determined. I feel like she's going to jump over the edge of this 10. And that is what she's doing. Full length of the table. Oh, she's unfortunate with the cue ball hitting that 5. That's exactly what she was looking to do up until that point. Playing the 4 into contact ball to leave it down there, and the cue ball up this end of the table. That cue ball just misbehaved and has stayed down there. And a thin cut for Seo Seoa if she wants to take this on. She did. It wasn't successful, but she's got second prize. Maybe an edge for Kristina to look at, but nothing to attack, and Kristina will be looking to put Seoa back in trouble here. Needs that 5 to come into play. She's judged that very well. This is what I was talking about at the start of the second set. The safety game that both these ladies have and their ability to get out of them is really what separates this match for me. All great matches underway. And that has not worked out for Seo Seoa. Key is getting position on the 6 to play this 7, I feel. We've seen Kristina pick apart some quite difficult patterns. And this is certainly up there with one of them. Putting a big shot on that. Bringing the cue ball around the top of the table for the 6. Just letting the arm go. Kristina Tkach really in the groove. She can push on here. She will take this to a deciding set. But she needs to win this and one more. Both these ladies have such a career ahead of them. Kristina Tkach, 27 years of age. And such a seasoned player. The consistency accompanying it is really bringing her such reward on the Pro Billiards Series circuit. Seo Seoa, 23 years of age. And with already World Championship success back last year in the World 9-ball. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these ladies for years to come. And if we're greeted with this each time, we are in for a treat. Kristina Tkach gets to the hill and puts herself in a great position now to take this match all the way. And she's catching up on the break stats. Our dear colleague Mike Salmon bringing you the live statistics for both this and our other table. As you can see, Kristina up to 33%. Starting just to move in her direction. And it couldn't have happened at a better time. Let's have a quick look out over the other matches. Well, the second set has been decided in the matchup between Chia Chen and Zhang Muyan. They're now at 1 apiece. That's going to a third. No results coming in as of yet, but all first sets have been completed. Kristina Tkach to break, possibly with an opportunity. Something bothering her, but with an opportunity to take this second set. Something's just bothered her a little bit. May have been a little insect wanting to get in on the action. You can go and find a chair like everyone else. Yes, 33% has now gone up a little bit more. Kristina now just finding that break. And this opening opportunity. This shot on the 2 and shape on the 3. Yeah, took the 8 combination on. I thought she was going to play that a bit slower, but she needed the cue ball to come back out. And that's where it's gone wrong. She played a very, very delicate safety shot in the last rack, going full length of the table. I'm wondering if she's thinking of something similar here. No, this one's a little bit harder, using the 3 to freeze the cue ball, knowing that that's where it would end up, so wanting that 2 ball to finish behind the 7. A little turn of the head from Kristina would suggest that this potting angle is on. Certainly not an easy pot to take on, but the 7 doesn't look like it will be hampering the cue ball to come back out across the table. So great value in taking this. And at 3-1 down, Seo Seoa may feel this may be the only opportunity she's going to get in this 5th rack. Made it well. Won't be happy to see that cue ball running onto the short rail, but we'll be happy to see that she's at the table with a good look at this 3. Cueing a little bit more difficult, but you can see where that 4 ball is. She can just focus purely on the pot. Played that really well. Stayed down on the shot. Now this, the key shot for me. Always a little tricky to judge when they start getting into the jaws of the pocket. Avoids the 10, into the 5. Friendly, unfriendly. Not too bad, as you can see from this camera angle. It's not straight, so an angle to work with, but not much distance between cue ball, object ball. This is a beautiful angle to watch this shot play out. Never in doubt. Now, eyes on the 6. This has opened up very nicely. That 4 ball with the bump on the 5. And this second set will be kept alive. Oh. Just sort of gave up on the shot there. Really needed to dig into it and generate a lot of energy on the cue ball. That's gone wrong for Seo Seoa. That will be a disappointment and a very, very rare mistake. We've not been getting many from either of these ladies, but what a time for it to occur. A gift for Kristina. So Seoa resigning herself to the fact that we will have a third and deciding set. And with a beautiful performance, you have to say, in this second set. With a couple of threats, Kristina Tkach has taken it 4-1 and will take us through to a deciding set. You may have heard a bit of clapping and applause coming from the crowd. That's because the home hopeful Jasmine Ushan has taken a straight set victory over Yuki Hiraguchi. And players are going to take a break and just prepare themselves for this deciding set. I'm going to do the same. We will leave the statistics up there for you to dwell on. And I'll come back very shortly and bring you a little update as to what's coming up next on this and our other live stream tables. If you want to keep an eye on the scores, please do visit probilliardseries.com and just follow the links. Be back with you very shortly with the players. And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the culmination of this exciting matchup in the losers 16 bracket at the Billiards Carrinho Women's Open. The story so far, our first set going to a hill. So Seoa just pipping that one under her belt. And in reply, Kristina Tkach has just turned it up a notch and has got that second set And will take us to this third and deciding set. It will be Seo Seoa to break, and if this does get to 3-3, we will move into a shootout, and I will not mention it again for at least 2 more racks. Seo Seoa to break. Making the 6. Both players now getting rewards from the break. What about that one? A little bounce off the rail may have helped. It's a very thin cut to take on. Seoa's going to need to bring the cue ball around. For this 2 ball in the same pocket, it's very thin. She's going to be asking a lot of her cue ball here. No, it wasn't on. And she's brought 9-4 into play. Kristina out of a chair. She brought both sticks, so she is considering that there's a jump on here. We'll need to go over the 9 and 4. Nope, plain stick. Yeah, possibly looking for a thinner contact on that one. A very thin cut onto the bottom left, but so far both ladies with a look at the table, looking to play safe. This may be the time for Seoa to go on the offense. She calls her extension just to eliminate that shot clock. Breathing down her neck, and that may suggest she's going for this. She was going for it. She's made it. Cue ball again, familiarly, for a couple of shots for Seo Seoa. Have left her quite a distance on her next shot. She doesn't turn them down, but just increases the difficulty somewhat. And that can be the result. That's mainly down to pace. I think if that a pocket speed, that 2 would have certainly dropped. But she needed to hold for the 3. Kristina just looking at how that cue ball is going to react off the short rail. Taking this 2 on. Took a rub of the 3. It's still on for the side pocket, but I think the cue ball will run towards the 9. That may help Kristina. Would take the energy out of the cue ball for the 4. Oh, but needed to make sure of the pot. Nearly has come safe, but if that 3 passes the 5, Seo Seoa is going to go on the offense here. Which she has done. She's left herself this 4 to the side pocket. Needs to avoid the traffic. She's taking it to the top left to ensure that that doesn't come into play. Successfully done. Good cue ball. We'll be stretching a little for this 5 and we'll want to get a bit of energy on the cue ball, so this could be the key shot to her taking this opening rack in the deciding set. Oh, generated great power. That's opened up nicely. Played well. Put the cue ball up for the 8. This should be Seo Seoa's for the take-in. These players looking for a place in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals also taking place today. That will kick off at 4 p.m. local time. Give you a little update as to who is getting into them. We've already seen Jasmine Ushan book her place in those quarterfinals. So keeping a home hopeful in the tournament. And Jasmine, one of the favourites you'd have to say. And you'd also have both of these two down up there in the top ranked seeds. Seo Seoa taking the opening rack. How important that will prove to be, well, it will remain to be seen. I mentioned following on after this, at 1 p.m. local time will be the men's quarterfinals in the Billard Beckman Men's Open here in Austria. And there's an Austrian represented in there. He will be appearing on the other table, table 1, with Tim de Lauter and Mark White. My colleagues bringing you the action. He's taking on the German Felix Vogel. On this table, well, a very tough matchup. Wu Kunlin taking on Kristina Tkach. Over on our third live table, Oliver Zolnocki taking on Jonas Islandboy Suto. And the closing 4th match there, Mateusz Nagocki against Georgi Georgiev. So 4 exciting matches to come after this. And this one, well, this could excitingly go all the way. That break, not a good spread, maybe not the best of contacts either for Seoa. But until this point, players just seeming to get a bit more out of it. On this occasion, not. But Kristina, with no look at the 1, will very likely be looking at playing a push. There's not really any threat of an offensive pot on the 1 playing the cue ball up high. Now, so Seoa can take this on or give it back. I'm pretty sure she's going to take this on. Just wondering if she was looking at 3 railer? No. I think I misinterpreted her body language. She didn't call the 2. Did she call the 3 railer? Because that 1 ball, was threatening to drop as the 2's dropped and not called. Kristina can give this shot back, but it looks like she's got full visibility of it, and there will be no chance in hell that she's going to give that back to Seo Seoa. Whoa. Did look like Seo Seoa was looking at the third angle to see if the one was going in that vicinity. Bit of drama early on. Second rack at the deciding set. This is bubbling up very nicely now. That cluster in the bottom of the table there, the 10, 3, 6, 4. It's not very appetizing for Kristina. Looks like she's picked out something though. She called something in the bottom left. Very likely insurance. Could just be looking to get good cue ball here, but yeah, I believe it was just looking to leave the 3 where it was and get cover from the 6. Hasn't worked out, but the 10 hampering the 3 into the bottom left corner, or it certainly looks like it is. Played that at a great pace. Could have left the 6 to cover if it came short, but this is what she wanted, the 8 to come into play. The 5 ball possibly hampering this escape. It wasn't at all. Good contact and a good result if that 7's covering. The only ray of light for Seoa, if that is the case, is that jumping over the 7 could promote the 3-10 combination. As you can see from that camera angle, it's flush. Can she get past the 7? Only to see an edge, and that's not delicate enough. Seoa normally plays them shots very well. Kristina already showing how she can play such delicate shots when needed, but this one need not be delicate. She's played that really well and made that look rather easy to stay and hold for the 4. Looked like she was picking a window between the 6 and 7 to come through. Like that, to come back out for the 5, has avoided the 7. Maybe lost a little bit of pace. Yeah, now, you just saw her glance 7 and the 10. The natural shape is to want to get on the 7 for the bottom left. She's just going to need to readjust and bring the cue ball back towards the left side pocket to take the 7 into the same pocket. Doesn't want to go into that side pocket. Oh. Well, that was a heart in the mouth moment. Can't get closer to that side pocket. That makes this cueing that bit more difficult for Kristina. She'll just need to focus on the pot here. Or will she? There was the slightest of angles, and Kristina fully taking advantage of it with a fantastic cue ball. And a good recovery, you have to say. Neither player is looking to give this third set up. Kristina Tkach picking apart another nice pattern. Maybe finding a little bit of self-induced trouble, but recovered extremely well. Scoreline 1 apiece in this deciding third set. And across the arena, we have 2 more results in. Pia Filler has booked her place in the quarterfinals, beating Nakyung Song 2-0. And Han Yu, who's been playing strong all week, finds herself with a 2-0 victory over Shi Jing Chang and will progress through to the quarterfinals. There are some interesting scorelines out there, but right now, and I'm sure you all are, I am firmly fixated to this matchup. It could go either way. Kristina starting to get her break working. Can she continue that? She can with the 1. And she can with a shot after the break. Fantastic stuff. The 4. Well, that's as close to dropping as the cue ball was in the previous rack for Kristina. She's at the table. A look at this 2. 3 in the open. 9-10, a little ugly, but where that 8 ball is, every chance to promote a good position from them. This is an important opening 2 ball. As you can see from this angle, 5 fully available. And with that 4 ball being deep in the corner pocket, she's going to need to be particular now where she wants to leave the cue ball. Yeah, the closer to it will help her pick the right shape here. Doesn't want to be moving that cue ball too much. The line is always there. Just bring the cue ball up the right line. It was that deep in. She's drawn the cue ball back up that line to great effect. Now, what sort of angle has she got here? She may want to just run into the 9-10 here, knowing that that 6 is very available to the top right. Ideally wouldn't want to leave it till the 8 ball to do it, but we'll see what she's thinking. Yeah, fantastic. Gave herself that opportunity and has taken it. This to take the lead in the second set. Oh, maybe a little off straight. No, not at all. Drawn the cue ball back a roll. I think in reflection, this is one of the real differences between the two players. Kristina Tkach has really been able to pick apart these difficult patterns. So not so successfully so. Ooh. Yep, that 9 just stayed to the left of the pocket. It's left a very thin cut on for Seoa. Very rare mistake from Kristina. Wasn't an easy 9 to take on, but that pattern wasn't an easy pattern to take on. She'd looked like she'd done all the hard work. She's just doing up her shoelace. So just waiting. Makes the 9, avoids the side pocket. You have to forgive me for being a bit quiet there. This match has got me on the edge of my seat, and oof. This 10 to get back in the lead. This is like a seesaw now, rolling into this third deciding set. Nothing to pick between them except now a 2-1 scoreline for Seoa in this deciding set, and she will get the break. So small advantage, but Kristina Tkach showing that she is on deadly form, and if not for that disappointing miss, could very much have found herself in the lead at this point. So can Seoa push on from this? We'll wait to see. Just having a quick look. One other result I may have not have mentioned, or rather not result, but continuation of the score. Changhua Chen and Zamu Yan, well, they're 1 set apiece, and Chen now just eking an advantage in the deciding set, leading 2-1. Seoa's made the 1. Shape on the 2. It's now her turn to pick apart a difficult pattern. I say difficult. There's a good spread on the balls she's got. Maybe the 2 to 3. Being the trickiest to encounter, but let's see what she's picked out here for shape on the red 3. Staying low. Didn't know she was going to try and leave herself a bit more of an angle on it to be able to get back out for the 4. Now looking to draw. Well, it looked like she was going to draw. No, she's punched it out across, possibly knowing that the 4-10 combination would be left if she came short, and always an option for the bottom left. This needs to be played particularly. Oh, did the second kiss help? No, it didn't. Ouch. And, well, I tip my hat to both players. Their offense games have been fantastic in this match. So we're looking to continue with the offense, just wasn't able to convert that difficult combination. That wasn't a difficult combination, and the 10 ball will be respotted. Needs it to run. It is. It has. Shape on the 5. And really, this pattern now opening up quite nicely for Kristina. She just seemed to not be happy with the side she's ended on this 6. So she's just readjusting herself and picking out the next shot. Yeah, she had to put a bit more venom on it, but has played that to perfection. Looks like she's played to leave this 7 on. No, it doesn't. It's not available. So Kristina calling the 3 rail, but look for that cue ball to be frozen to the 8. We could see Seo Seoa back to the table. She will, with no look at the 7, calling the bottom right. Good things can come if she can catch that short rail before contact with the 7, somewhere in between the middle and left diamond. That 7 could track towards the bottom right corner, and the cue ball should come up towards the 8. No, she came underneath it, which can promote the scratch. Avoided the scratch. Didn't get cover. And if Kristina can see the right edge of this, it is available to the top left pocket. Ooh. No, no, that's not worked out for Kristina. The double kiss was not wanted. Not sure, well, depending on how that cue ball would have run into the 9. It was going in with a bit of pace, but that's what she was looking for, using the 9 as cover. Now, Seoa with the 7 down the cushion. And the pace. Okay. She played a similar shot to this earlier in the match. Coming out the middle of the short rail. Like that, and what a twist. It felt like Kristina was going to keep this match on simmer with a 2-2 scoreline now. So Seoa 2 balls away from getting herself on the hill in this deciding set. Stretching a little. Played that well, the cue ball tracking towards the side pocket, but never in doubt it was going to stop short. Little insect again wanting to get in on the action. This 10 ball to get on the hill. Solid centre pocket. So Seoa has ridden that storm from Kristina Tkach and has got to the hill first in this deciding set. Kristina now trailing 3-1. She did put 3 in a row in in our opening set, but to no avail. And so Seoa finds herself on the double hill. If Kristina is able to come back and get this to all level, we will move to a shootout. So Seoa hoping that that is not to be. We have one other result quickly coming in. Shashalu has beaten Che-Yu Chao 2-0 to book her place in the quarterfinals. Those quarterfinals kicking off at 4 p.m. today. It's just under 4 hours from now if you want to set your alarm clocks. I'm sure most of you will just be joining us for the whole day of action. Now, Seoa to break. Didn't make the one in the side this time. Is threatening the corner. It's not dropped, but more importantly, a ball has. Looks like it's the 6 ball. I didn't see which pocket it went into. Seoa's shaking her head a little bit. Not convinced with what she can do off this one. However, she's at the table. And if you look at the traffic, the 4, the 5 and the 9, there's always good options for cover if the offensive option is not there for Seoa. Seoa still not looking very happy after a successful break. She's been shaking her head a few times. Ooh. And whether or not that has encouraged this result, she's made the 2 in the top left without calling. Kristina, not even getting out of her chair, has given this back to Seoa here. She played that kick and stick really well, just needed to avoid the side pocket, which it sort of did, but it took a very awkward career down to the bottom left, and it's getting worse for Seoa here. Wow, another twist. Made contact with the 3, so you'd have to say had the makings of a good escape, but that cue ball straight in the side pocket, ball in hand for Kristina Tkach. And the 4 does look available past the 10. You can never count this young lady out. And she will never count herself out either. Okay, she played that delicately to run through, knowing that the 5 will be available to the top right pocket, rather top left as you look at the overhead here. It's not an easy shot. The cue ball running into the 7-2. Oh, I don't think she called a 7. She was going for the 5. Knew she was going to run into the 7, so probably had that in the corner of her eye as well. That could be a very important mistake at this stage of the match. Wasn't the easiest of opportunities for Kristina, but she got her teeth into it so well. You felt that that rack was coming to her. It looked like Seoa had sort of talked herself out of that rack, shaking her head and showing a bit of disappointment. Maybe didn't even expect to get back to the table, but she has. And she's kept composed. This 10 ball for a place in the Billiards Carrinho Women's Open quarterfinals. She has done, and a nice shake of the hands. Kristina Tkach will be sorely disappointed. She'd played herself very well back into this match and gave herself the momentum she so deserved and needed, but it just wasn't to be. We'll bring up the statistics. I'll give you a little bit of an update as